let's get it right. Let's get it right, 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 let's get it right. Let's get it right. Let's get it right. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Dilla T, and this is No Filters. Always appreciate you hitting that like button for me, subscribing to the channel so you don't miss an episode, and sharing this with the world. And of course, family, when you come in, get comfortable. Get you something to eat, get you something to drink, get you something to smoke if that's what you do. Cause you see the title, fam. Let's get into this here.
When Erika Kirk came in as leader, I don't even know how to explain it. The vibe just shifted. She starts bringing in all these new people. It's like they just appeared. So people start digging around just to see who we're really working with. And it gets creepy fast.
Now, for the past couple of days, I've really been thinking about this, and I need your guys' opinion, okay? Now, I've been seeing a lot of DMs, I've been seeing a lot of comments of people asking to be a part of the mentorship, where I'm teaching you guys step by step on how to make money online. Now, the mentorship is very limited, so a lot of people haven't been able to join, but what I want to do is, or what I've been thinking about doing is hosting a 2-day webinar where I teach you guys exactly step by step how I've been able to make money online and how my students are making thousands of dollars a day online. Now, all you have to do to let me know is either comment or leave a like on this video. If this video gets 1,000 likes, then obviously I'll know that you guys are interested in having that 2-day webinar. And I'm going to be giving you guys all of the details behind the business that we use, behind the methods that we use, and everything along those lines so you guys can start taking advantage of making money online for yourself, right? It will also give you guys early access to the next round of mentorship applications so we can have more of that one-on-one. Now, we have another whistleblower exposing Erika Kirk, and we also have another video here exposing Erika Kirk. Now, this video right here is what really caught my attention, so I want to hop into this video. As always, leave a like down below, subscribe if you're new. But let's get into it, y'all. Erika Kirk has been under a lot of pressure recently because of the way that she's been moving after Charlie Kirk's death. But this is still very, very interesting.
I wouldn't recognize if they were talking to a literal snake, exactly like Eve didn't in the garden. A lot of these celebrities struggle to not actively shapeshift when they're speaking. She's one of the most obvious ones, and nobody talks about it.
I won't ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD. And Vice President JD, yes, I do.
So we have the deceptive serpent in Eden. The Antichrist is also going to be an ancient dragon. Proverbs says the lizard you can hold in your hands is in kings' palaces. Jesus calls the Pharisees broods of vipers and serpents and says that they've created dens where snakes dwell of thieves. Nothing I'm going to show you is edited. You can go and slow the videos down and look at these yourself. I could see it just watching the video, but just to show you guys, look at the teeth. This woman has like a perfect like veneer type smile. Her teeth should not be doing this. And the eyes. Every single video I see of her, her eyes shift to this up and down reptilian eye constantly. Remember, this is what a snake eye looks like. What is going on with the mouth? The mouth and the eyes. A lot of times when she's speaking, she gets like these glowing type feints. And yeah, I know I sound crazy, but that's the gag of it, is that you sound crazy for pointing it out, but it's very clearly happening. You guys can go and look at the footage yourself. I didn't do anything special to it. This is exactly what the footage is, and it's not just these videos, it's everything I've ever seen with her in it. You could do this. I'm sure the comments will be people telling me, oh, like, it's a grieving widow, leave her alone. For First of all, she hasn't grieved at all once publicly. She's expressing genuine happiness that her husband is apparently gone, which I don't believe anything on the world stage. But this, her teeth are different in every single frame. Come on, if you don't see this, I don't know what to tell you. Look at the teeth, look at the eyes, look at the eyes.
The eyes in that last picture? Bro, that looks insane.
Look at the eyes, they are literally snake eyes. I mean, come on. People tend to make a metaphor out of the Genesis story because they don't believe that serpents can actually shapeshift. I think it's very literal. I think that Eve was deceived by a shape-shifting reptilian. That makes way too much sense for me to personally deny it. We have to sharpen our discernment, especially Christians. If you really look at this situation and say, oh, but she's a Christian, that can't be...
Now, let me ask you this. Is this a picture taken before or after Charlie Kirk passed away? This right here is a little too buddy for me. I ain't gonna lie. Homie, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. He just got popped. It happened, 2 months ago? She's over here holding man by the back of his head, waist. I just need to know, is this before or after he passed away?
Possible. You are completely and totally asleep and need to wake up and find Jesus.
Bro, what? I did not know that this conversation was going to be going here, bro. Apparently, Erika Kirk is a shapeshifter. Now, I'm not going to lie, y'all. I have a lot of mixed emotions or mixed beliefs when it comes to shapeshifting, bro. I'm not the type of person to say it doesn't exist, but I also haven't seen too much evidence saying that it does, right? Do I believe in aliens? Hell yeah. We're not going to even go down that route. You got what I'm saying? But at the same time, when it comes to shapeshifters, or what is it called? Skin dwellers or skin something. I forgot what it's called. I don't know, y'all. I'm going to need you guys to link me some videos down below so I can start looking into it deeper, because I honestly don't know too much about that. I know a little bit about it. I had a friend who used to speak about this all the time, but I really don't know. I know reptilians, I know adrenochrome, I know all that fun stuff, right? But at the same time, I haven't seen too much evidence pointing me in that direction, right? But let's get into this video right here. Whistleblower exposes Erika.
When Erika Kirk came in as leader, I don't even know how to explain it. The vibe just shifted, instantly. And then she starts bringing in all these new people, total unknowns. No social media, no LinkedIn, no nothing. It's like they just appeared. Everyone in the office is joking, well, half joking, that they're all spooks. And honestly, it fits. So people start digging around just to see who we're really working with. And it gets creepy fast. Her mom works for some Israeli defense firm, something to do with missile systems, like the Iron Dome level stuff. Her dad literally wrote the book about how to integrate private companies into the intelligence community. And Erika, she loves to brag about her connections. She'll say stuff in meetings like, if I want to know something about someone, I can have it by morning. Mossad doesn't sleep. Then she'll flash that megawatt smile like she's joking, but she's not. Everyone knows she's not. Does she actually work for them? I mean, yeah, everyone thinks so. She's hinted at it herself. And now, the whole office feels wired. Slack channels are dead. People don't say what they're thinking anymore. Everyone's paranoid, like the walls are listening. Maybe they are.
They literally are, bro. They literally are, bro. Erika, one thing that I noticed from the past couple of videos that we watched about Erika Kirk is that it's more clear, more evident now more than ever, right? That she was literally a pawn. Charlie Kirk was a pawn. Erika Kirk was a pawn. Charlie Kirk was a sacrifice, right? I mean, so many videos, so many pieces of evidence that stack up in that direction. It's actually crazy, bro. It's actually kind of crazy how much you can find on the internet about Erika Kirk, Charlie Kirk, her association with hella different political leaders and people of power. It's like, whoa, this is going deep. I get it now. It's always a connection, y'all. Literally always a connection. I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below. Like, send me over some links about videos on reptilians, bro. Like, I'm really interested about diving into that. I'm not the type of person, if you guys have watched my channel, then you know, I'm not the type of person to sit here and believe in conspiracy theory.
Real quick, you need to know where you at right now. You know you in here with your boy, Dilla T, and
When
my
Erika
fam.
Kirk came in as
And
leader,
this is
I don't even know how to explain it. The
NOFEELTERS.
vibe just...
Let's act like we know what's going on up in here, fam. Hit that double like button, hit that like button, double tap that screen. Understand right now, it's getting real. They think it's finna be put to rest, but it ain't. Now we got Erika Kirk out here, Vice President JD Vance, looking real close, looking real different, looking real questionable for her husband to just pass away and for this man to be married with children. And this how they coming on the stage? Let's get order up in here now. So let's get some order on who Erika Kirk is and how she been coming, fam.
Then without a second, she's fine. I really hope all of us that are feeling the same way are wrong. All of a sudden, Candace can't see what everybody else sees on this. That's what I mean when I say she's been a hypocrite, bro. You've been a hypocrite, Candace. And I don't appreciate that. You're talking about what are you supposed to say? You know what you're supposed to say. Now, Erika Kirk, JD Vance. A few weeks ago, I made a video, and other people have made videos as well, about a film called Snake Eyes. And in this film called Snake Eyes, let me see if I can, it's not important. In this film called Snake Eyes, remember, there is the head of the Secretary of Defense is a guy by the name of Charles Kirkland. Not Charles Kirk, like Charlie Kirk, but Charles Kirkland, who was pow-powed in the right side of his neck. This event happened in the Trump Tower back in 1998 when the film came out. And the date of the event that this pow-powing took place was September the 10th. That's just a small amount of the coincidences from this film. Well, the person that was actually the target of the pow-powing was a character by the name of Julia. Julia is a, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. Julia is this character right here. A pretty white lady with blonde hair in an all-white outfit. All right? Which is very similar to the outfit that Erika Kirk was wearing multiple different times. All right? The person that was playing this character is an actress by the name of Carla Gugino, right? An actress by the name of Carla Gugino. This character by the name of Carla Gugino, she played in Snake Eyes the character Julia. Julia actually worked for the character Charles Kirkland. So another way to think about that is that this character right here fell under, answered to, looked up to, took orders from Charles Kirkland. I'm sure y'all can make the comparison without me having to say it. Well, this actress Carla Gugino, who played Julia, also starred in another film, and it's going to be very relevant. But before we move over to that film that came out years later that's very relevant to something that's happening today, let's talk about Erika Kirk and JD Vance. This past Wednesday, Erika Kirk and JD Vance were on an event together. All right. TPUSA students, Ole Miss 1029, featuring Erika Kirk and Vice President JD Vance. Now, when I first saw this headline, I actually shared it on my YouTube channel, and I said, that's interesting. It's just an interesting comparison after what I said like a month ago. Because this film we're about to talk about in a moment, I've already covered it. And I said, I think they may have a plan for Erika Kirk. Then I saw this poster, and I was like, that's interesting. And sure enough, after this event ended, photos and videos would go viral of Erika Kirk and JD Vance. Let me first show the introduction that Erika Kirk gave to JD Vance. But before I do that, I'm going to be honest with you. The first thing that I noticed about Erika Kirk was, let me see here, was her outfit. All right, man. So look, I'm not trying to be mean. It's not even about being judgmental. Those are some extremely tight pants, bro. I for a quote unquote recent widow, you all can call me mean and harsh and insensitive, but I don't think I am. I think I'm being fair. Let me show you what I find to be insensitive. This is insensitive. Have y'all seen this right here? Fake grieving widow grifter costume for Halloween. Includes fake teardrops, skin tight black leather morning pants.
That's crazy.
Now, I'll be honest with you. This is a bit disrespectful in my opinion. It's a bit too far. I wouldn't share it. However, in America, you have the right for freedom of expression and freedom of speech. So if a person chose to post this, they have every right to do it, and I support it. But I wouldn't do it, because I think this is a bit much. I wouldn't do this. This is a bit much. I wouldn't do this. This is what I would call doing too much. Me calling out the fact that she came out in some pants that are way too tight is fair game, bro. It just is. So that was her introduction. And when I saw the outfit, I was like, ooh, that's a very interesting outfit to wear at an event like this. It's just odd to me. It's just weird. And then it gets weirder, because then she introduces JD Vance, and I want you all to take a listen.
You do it. You do it. Do it for Charlie. Do it for Charlie.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm just gonna say it, but this, when she repeats herself like that, it just does not sound organic, bro. It doesn't sound organic. It sounds like something out of a stage play. Do it for Charlie. Do it for Charlie. I'm sorry, bro. It just doesn't.
And I am tremendously blessed and honored tonight to be able to introduce to you a very, very dear friend and his wife. They are incredible. And I see no one will ever replace my husband.
Okay. Okay. Pause. That's a very odd thing to say. If you want to say I'm looking into too much or you're being too critical, give the woman a break, I disagree with you. Why even say something like that? A better way to say it is even to say, no one will ever be as great as my husband. Or there will never be another Charlie Kirk or anyone else like Charlie Kirk. Why would you say no one would ever replace my husband? If I'm JD Vance's wife, I'm cringing on that part. Like, why would you say that, lady? That's weird. When you preface your statement with that, that's weird, bro. I'm a man, though. So how about y'all women hop in the comment section? Y'all let me know how y'all feel. If a woman said this about your husband before you went up and spoke, would you feel weird? No one would ever replace my husband? Erika, this feels like a movie, man. So when Candace Owens is saying, what do y'all want me to say? Candace, are you not seeing this stuff?
No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD.
No, Erika, you don't say that. You don't say that. As a recent widow and about a married man, you don't say that. Just introduce the guy. An incredible orator, an incredible speaker, JD Vance, everybody. JD Vance, everybody.
TV in the building.
And leave it there. He's the vice president for a reason. An incredible person. JD Vance, everybody. I do see similarities of my husband and JD. No, Erika, you don't say that. You don't say that, man.
And Vice President JD Vance, I do.
Oh, no.
And that's why I'm so blessed to be able to introduce him tonight. Because he understands the fight that we're up against.
Dick Cheney.
And he can articulate that
It's terrible.
in a way that transcends race, that transcends demographic backgrounds.
No, bro. Erika, you don't say this. You're doing too much, bro. You're doing too much. He's able to say this a way in which, no, Erika, he's already the vice president. You don't need to convince anybody that he's that he's a great speaker or that he's worthy of speaking after you. He's the vice president, Erika. You don't say that. Leave it alone. Stop here.
And I'm gonna say this.
Why would you keep going?
You know, Dick Cheney had something to do with pow, 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 pow in the woods back then when him and George Bush was in office. And they talking about that governor, somebody came up, gone in the woods, talking about they were going duck hunting. Just like that movie Life. When he got locked up because they said that Eddie Murphy or whatever was coming out the side. When they said Eddie Murphy, you know, that he was guilty. But in the end, when they said Eddie Murphy came out in the end and they defended him in the end and they said that you know, that the sheriff basically killed, the warden killed the sheriff in the end on Life. Because they act like, you know, that, you know, some ducks was coming up and he waved his arm and then he shot at the ducks. That's the story they gave in the movie Life so Eddie Murphy and them could get out. But that's the real story that happened in real life with Dick Cheney and George Bush. They was in the woods. A governor came up missing, and ironically, it was somebody that was voting against them at the time about Homeland Security. And all of a sudden, he gone. Dick Cheney, you know, gave a statement, everybody, same statement, supposedly that happened. So when I seen that about Dick Cheney, that's the first thing I went in my head like, yeah, because you know what you did, boy, allegedly. You know you gotta say that.
That's
like,
weird, bro.
Shit, hell no.
Where's that comment? I just saw a great comment. Where's it at? Shoot, where did it go? Someone said, I can't find the comment, but someone said it's the butt for me. No one would ever replace my husband, but it's the butt for me.
Crazy,
I agree with you. I don't know where that comment just went, but that was weird. But yeah, man, like crazy.
He's an amazing man.
Oh.
So please help me welcome to the stage Vice President JD Vance.
Y'all, am I tripping? And then you ended by saying he's an amazing man. Say that he's an amazing politician. That's crazy. Erika, you don't do that. And it seems like, nah, bro, that's weird. So now, let me show you all the hug that they gave that went viral. And some of you are probably gonna...
That's the exact same story I just said, Theo. So that's what I'm saying. Fam hip already. That's the story I was just saying. This man remembered for going duck hunting, and they friends supposedly ended up gone, and Cheney was the one that shot him. That's a real thing. So that's what I remember Dick Cheney for. You know what I mean? Of course, being on the Bush administration, Condoleezza Rice and all of them. Oh man, it was man, whatever.
You'll be surprised to hear what I got to say about the hug, but we're going to break it down. Let's go to the freaking hug. I muted the hug because of the music. They'll copyright it. So here's the hug, everybody. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. Erika Kirk and the hug that she gave JD Vance, in all honesty and fairness to them, when you watch it in real time, in my opinion, it looks harmless. It looks harmless. Like the way in which, I'm gonna show you the picture, like the way the picture makes it look, it makes it look like it was some sensual, long hugging, you're not gonna let go. And it wasn't that. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It wasn't that. However, the picture is the picture, which is to say, the picture only shows us what actually happened when they hugged each other. His hand is too low. That's not how you hug your friend. Erika has to know that. But the worst part is where her hand is. When do you hug your male friend as a female and you run your fingers through his hair? Nah, bro. And I'm gonna tell you all something that y'all probably missed. Watch what JD Vance does after she hugs him. This second picture where Erika is looking up in his eyes. Don't do that. He's sorry. Don't do that. JD Vance caught it. And I believe JD Vance was uncomfortable and tried to play it off very well. Watch what JD Vance did. Watch this. Watch his eyes, everybody. Yo, did y'all catch that? I'm going to play it back. JD Vance's eyes, when he looked down, he realized she was looking into his soul. He looked away really, really fast. There's a reason he's a politician. He knows how to play it off. Watch this. Bro, that just, nah, bro, that's not cool. Because here's the thing. Even if you meant nothing by it, if you're Erika, even if you meant nothing by it, if you're a man, I'm a man. I've only been a male my entire life. And what I'm telling you is, if my female friend hugs me like that, I'm going to notice it. I'm going to notice it. It's not going to go unnoticed. Watch his eyeballs. He looks away from her so fast. Watch this. Oh, that was crazy. That was crazy. Now, remember when I was telling you all that Candace Owens wasn't being honest when she spoke about, what am I supposed to say about Erika? What has she lied about? What is there about Erika? Okay. Remember, I said there's 3 people on her show that Candace Owens has given a shout out to. Ian Carroll, Sam Parker, and she also gave out the Village Crazy Lady or somebody. But the other person is James Lee. Let me show you what somebody that Candace Owens has shouted out on her channel, which means this is somebody that Candace Owens watches their content. Let me show you what they shared on their channel. This goes to show that Candace is playing dumb.
Oh no, this is what's going on. This is what's really going on. This was really going on. Vice President JD Vance and Charlie Kirk wife, Erika Kirk, they close. They got something going on, and the way they just hugged, and the way she put that hand on the back of that head, and the way he put that hand on that hip, it was more than what you think it was. Ain't no way. And right now, what I was just looking up was what Fam just said, because this was like breaking news, basically, is what it just was. Follow me now. This breaking news right here, fam. Yeah, that's what that plane crash look like right now. This one right now. This one right now. Yeah, that's what that is. Crazy word. And this just live pictures, so you just getting live pictures right here. Let me see what else I got for you. Let me see. Because I see what they want to do. Let me see what's this.
But we're going to come on the air with breaking news. A UPS plane crashing near an airport in Louisville. The video appearing to show the plane on fire moments before it explodes into a fireball. A massive plume of smoke shooting into the air. First responders rushing to the scene. Tom Costello has the late breaking details.
Yeah, I got you. You guys missed. That's the shot that we need to shot.
Which believes to be a plane crash.
Near the Louisville, Kentucky airport tonight, a massive fire on the ground after a reported plane crash. Witnesses report seeing a UPS MD-11 cargo plane going down at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Louisville is home to the UPS World Port, a major North American cargo hub. With thick smoke and reports of explosions near the scene, authorities issued a shelter in place for the immediate area. At this hour, it's not clear what cargo the plane might have been carrying. The FAA says UPS Flight 2976 was departing for Honolulu when the crash occurred. The FAA and NTSB will lead the investigation. In a statement, UPS says it has been notified of an accident involving one of our aircraft in Louisville. Muhammad Ali International Airport tonight is closed.
And there is no movement on the runway whatsoever.
All right, Tom Costello joins us now live. Tom, talk to us about what happened exactly at the airport. Do we know if there's any more injuries? And what do we know about this cargo plane?
Let's start with the injuries. Our local affiliate there is reporting that 4 people have been transported, and at least 4 have been transported to another hospital. UPS says 3 people were. Look at that right there, left side of the plane. Look at that engine. It appears to have already been on fire just as this plane was about to take off, and then, as you can see, exploded into a fireball. So UPS saying that at least 3 crew members were on board. This flight was headed to Louisville, Kentucky. Again, Honolulu from Louisville. 2976 is the flight number. A cargo plane and an MD-11. And Tom, as you and I know, that used to be a mainstay of many fleets back in the 90s and early 2000s. It originally was built back in around 1990, 91 or so. And then about 15 years ago or so, they started transitioning more to cargo flights, in part because the MD-11 really had kind of a storied and an assorted history with several incidents and crashes along the way. This is the plane that has the engine on the tail, so 3 engines, including one on the tail, a wide-body plane that for years carried passengers long distances, but lately has really been only used for cargo and a mainstay of UPS. And Tom, as you and I have both been there before, this is the major hub for UPS operations in Louisville at the World Port there in Louisville.
All right, Tom Costello leading us off tonight. Tom, we thank you. I want to get over to Keith Mackey. He's the president of aviation consulting, Mackey International. Talk to us about the video you've seen so far, and what do you think has happened here? Can you tell at least, was it a problem with the engines? Was it a problem at takeoff?
Well, we know there are no passengers. There's only a crew. And the MD-11 is an airplane, it was a passenger airplane at one time, but primarily it's used for cargo. That's probably the use of it as best it can be utilized now. The MD-11 holds quite a bit of fuel, and going nonstop to Honolulu, it would have been nearly full. Consequently, all the flames. Now, once the crew has been saved or the injured treated, the next effort will be to recover the black boxes, the flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder. Another thing that's going to be of great interest is in determining the consist of the airplane. What was the cargo? Was there anything flammable or hazardous on there? That'll be a big place to look. Once they do those things, the cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder will be analyzed to see what happened. Hopefully the crew survives and we're able to get a first-hand story from them. But at this point, we're only speculating. We don't know the cause of the crash. But we soon will have information that'll lead us in that direction, I think.
Keith, we thank you for your information and your guidance tonight. For more on the ground, I want to get right to Elena Noakes from NBC's affiliate, WAVE Wave in Louisville, Kentucky. What can you tell us tonight about what you're seeing there on the scene?
Well, so far we've seen the smoke really kind of die with the night sky. As it's gotten darker, it's become harder to see, but the flames as well kind of dying down. I want to give you a live look behind us. We right now are in the Bay Area of the Muhammad.
Oh no, it's all good, Jesus and Trump. I wanted you to see real fast because I say ain't no way that this just happened like that, fam. We talking about this going on and then you get real life going on in your face. Hit that like button, double tap that screen, become a member, subscribe right now. Because we're going to continue to keep cooking Erika Kirk.
To just not speak about it. But speaking about it and pretending like you don't know.
Now, the conversation and what's going on right now is this. What we have here is this. Let's take a good look at what you're looking at. Because I really want you to put eyes on what's going on here. On the screen right now is your Vice President. Yeah, your Vice President, JD Vance. You understand? JD Vance. And that's Erika Kirk, Charlie Kirk's wife. If you don't know who Charlie Kirk is, man just passed away, got shot in the neck on the college campus in front of the world. Now, what you see here is the level of hugging that is unacceptable for a married person, for two married people. One, your guy passed away. Two, your wife's still living, and your kids. Now, show of hands if you think that this type of hug is inappropriate in public and in private. Married. Let me know right now. Let me know right now in the comment. Yes or no? Do you believe? Show of hands if you believe this is inappropriate for two married people. Public and private. Show it yes or no, fam. It ain't a little bit, it ain't a lot bit, it ain't somewhat. It's a yes and a no. Because we know we here to read in between the lines. We see the headline, but we here to read in between the lines. And there's no way that they knew or didn't think we would see this and that this would not be made blatant. One, I would say this. If JD Vance didn't think this was going to happen and Charlie Kirk's wife, Erika, did that on her own, he was thrown off guard. Fine. But even in the same sense, when it happened, you really didn't see any change in his body language because his hand placement was low and in appropriate areas as well. So right there tells me further that them two been looking at each other. Because again, they naturally just had that moment in front of the camera with no problem. And even in that moment with those situations, Erika Kirk know what she's doing. Even if JD Vance don't know what he's doing and she's in a position of power or wants power, she knows the world eye is on her. Period. So whatever she does, whatever she words, whatever she does, thinks, looks like, all eyes on her. So if she was either told or they staged this, it went well. But if it wasn't staged and JD Vance didn't know about that, she knew just the stroke of her hand on that man's head. I have the whole world talking right now. Because now you know what they're saying. What they doing, what they got going, what they been on, what's up with them two. And then on top of that, he gets up there and has a speech, and his speech is totally saying that he wants to be and have the same religion like Erika Kirk, and that he wants his wife to have the same religion as Erika Kirk as well. Now, you start talking about a folk religion publicly like that to the world, oh, you know it's real. Something's about to happen. Because ain't no way that blatantly just happened like that and you think that that's okay. And both of them married and they did it in front of the world. As if they didn't stage that or put that together. See, I think that was staged. I think that's some more distraction. I think something's to come. And they trying to show us in bits and pieces as they create this storyline of Erika Kirk and Vice President JD Vance. Because think about this. When Charlie Kirk got unalived, Vice President JD Vance was the one that stepped in and went and got Charlie Kirk, went and got Erika Kirk, went and pulled up with him, took him to the White House, all on his regard. So he been rocking since day one. Charlie Kirk was hit and gone. You understand? Hit that like button, double tap that screen. You about to learn something here. You really about to know the role that she's finna play in the White House totally. See, she's fighting for a position. And she's not fighting. It's already been secured. The bag is secured. Charlie's gone. They in a whole different phase and agenda of what they're about to do. This is another level of how they moving in front of our face.
I probably missed. Watch what JD Vance does After she hugs him, this second picture where Erika is looking up in his eyes, don't do that. He's married. Don't do that. JD Vance caught it. And I believe JD Vance was uncomfortable and tried to play it off very well. Watch what JD Vance did. Watch this. Watch his eyes, everybody. Yo, did y'all get that?
That man looked down and looked up so fast.
JD Vance's eyes, when he looked down, he realized she was looking into his soul.
See, that's why I be saying people don't be acting like they don't know. When people sitting there flirting like that, they got the word flirting, then they got what? Innocent flirting. And then they got people that act like they don't know they flirting, but they not coming out directly saying nothing out of their mouth. They just giving gestures, eye contact, extracurricular smiles, making a person feel extra warm, not to mention hand gestures, touch, arms, shoulders. All of that plays a role. But the funny part is this is happening right in front of all of our faces. And he knows it. And he has to play that off. So my thing in my head is this a setup for us to see this so we can run down this? Is this a setup for what's to come? Is this a seed that they just planted that's about to tell me that, let me tell you this wild scenario, but follow me when it happens, okay? I think that they trying to put Erika Kirk in office so she can run as vice president with JD Vance. Let me say that again, Theo. I think they finna get Erika Kirk in office for her to run as vice president next to JD Vance. Now watch what I told you. Because in my right mind, I felt like Trump was going to run alongside as vice president to JD Vance. And somehow, some way, JD Vance stepped down and then Trump is back in office for another term. Because there's a way for Trump to be president again. So when I talk about things like this, these are the things you have to see the seed being planted, that it always starts somewhere. When you like something, someone, it always starts sometime. It always starts somewhere. When you go after a job, it always planted in your mind what you want to do. It always starts somewhere before you actually get up and do it. When you shut something down, it always starts somewhere in your mind that you want to shut it down, but you never do it until it's shut down. There's always a starting point. And her starting point was way back when, as a youngin'. So when we see things like today, we only looking at it like, oh, okay. This was just a part of an agenda that's been going on since she was a youngin', coming up with her family. Her mother's in a very high place. Her father created a whole book that the CIA and a lot of people run their whole operation on. This is little old Erika Kirk. She got history. Her family got history with the government. That's what you didn't know. So you looking at her like she just this blonde-haired girl that's walking around trying to be next top model. No. She is fully connected on a whole nother level. And I'm only saying that for you to know that you look at people and judge them by a book. You can't. Because she connected and looked like she the next America's next top model. That's it. You would never thought she was connected. But you never think also, too, that you'd be looking at her run for president, vice president. Vice president. Think about it. Her husband was unalived in front of the world. That's like a hero. You don't think that's going to play a role when she runs? Those are the things that matter when you in the military or you're a war hero or something happened to you, something along the lines like Charlie Kirk. So when I tell you, you got to read in between the lines, fam. Think about it. This girl about to probably become somebody president or vice president. And what do she know about that? This next part you about to listen to is finna blow your mind. Trust me. Because this is exactly the agenda that they are painting in a movie that is about to happen in the future. And this is your government, your house, your life, ran by these fools. Hit that like button, double tap that screen, listen.
He looked away really, really fast. There's a reason he's a politician. He knows how to play it off. Watch this. Bro, that's just wrong. Nah, bro, that's not cool. Because here's the thing. Even if Owens wasn't being honest, when pretending like you don't know what to talk about is disingenuous and it's misleading.
I see no one will ever replace my husband. No.
To just not speak about it. There is the head of the Secretary of Defense is a guy by the name of Charles Kirkland. Not Charles Kirk, like Charlie Kirk, but Charles. She drops her head and sobs into her hands. Then without a second, she's fine. That's what I mean when I say she's been a hypocrite, bro. You've been a hypocrite, Candace. And I don't appreciate that.
She know it.
You talking about what are you supposed to say? You know what you're supposed to say. Now, Erika Kirk, JD Vance. A few weeks ago, I made a video, and other people have made videos as well, about a film called Snake Eyes. And in this film called Snake Eyes, let me see if I can, it's not important. In this film called Snake Eyes, remember, there is the head of the Secretary of Defense is a guy by the name of Charles Kirkland. Not Charles Kirk, like Charlie Kirk, but Charles Kirkland, who was pow-powed in the right side of his neck. This event happened in the Trump Tower back in 1998 when the film came out. And the date of the event that this pow-powing took place was September the 10th. That's just a small amount of the coincidences from this film. Well, the person that was actually the target of the pow-powing was a character by the name of Julia. Julia is a, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. Julia is this character right here. A pretty white lady with blonde hair in an all-white outfit. All right? Which is very similar to the outfit that Erika Kirk was wearing multiple different times. All right? The person that was playing this character is an actress by the name of Carla Gugino, right? An actress by the name of Carla Gugino. This character by the name of Carla Gugino, she played in Snake Eyes the character Julia. Julia actually worked for the character Charles Kirkland. So another way to think about that is that this character right here fell under, answered to, looked up to, took orders from Charles Kirkland. I'm sure y'all can make the comparison without me having to say it. Well, this actress, Carla Gugino, who played Julia, also starred in another film, and it's going to be very relevant. But before we move over to that film that came out years later that's very relevant to something that's happening today, let's talk about Erika Kirk and JD Vance. This past Wednesday, Erika Kirk and JD Vance were on an event together. All right. TPUSA students, Ole Miss 1029, featuring Erika Kirk and Vice President JD Vance. Now, when I first saw this headline, I actually shared it on my YouTube channel, and I said, that's interesting. It's just an interesting comparison after what I said like a month ago. Because this film we're about to talk about in a moment, I've already covered it. And I said, I think they may have a plan for Erika Kirk. Then I saw this poster, and I was like, that's interesting. And sure enough, after this event ended, photos and videos would go viral of Erika Kirk and JD Vance. Let me first show the introduction that Erika Kirk gave to JD Vance. But before I do that, I'm going to be honest with you. The first thing that I noticed about Erika Kirk was
VV.
Let me see here.
Well, I forgot your name, family, with the H. Harnish, Hermish. I'm sorry.
What's her outfit?
What's up with you? Harris, respectfully, fam. How you doing?
All right, man. So look, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be, it's not even about being judgmental. Those are some extremely tight pants, bro. I for a quote unquote recent widow, you all can call me mean and harsh and insensitive, but I don't think I am. I think I'm being fair. Let me show you what I find to be insensitive. This is insensitive. Have y'all seen this right here? Fake grieving widow grifter costume for Halloween. Includes fake teardrops, skin tight black leather morning pants. Now, I'll be honest with you. This is a bit disrespectful in my opinion. It's a bit too far. I wouldn't share it. However, in America, you have the right for freedom of expression and freedom of speech. So if a person chose to post this, they have every right to do it, and I support it. But I wouldn't do it, because I think this is a bit much. I wouldn't do this. This is a bit much. I wouldn't do this. This is what I would call doing too much. Me calling out the fact that she came out.
Coming up with a doing too much, man. That's what they call it. Coming up with a doing too much.
Reporting live from Mike's Club in Atlanta for High Plus News, I'm John Alpha. What is considered appropriate versus inappropriate when hugging someone of the opposite sex while in a relationship? This appears to be the current debate online as many begin to react to the circulation of an embrace between Charlie Kirk's widow, Erika Kirk, and Vice President JD Vance. Now, to kick off her tour in the aftermath of her late husband's shooting, Erika Kirk would host a Turning Point USA event at Ole Miss on Wednesday. Now, just like her husband, Kirk plans to visit several college campuses as a way to further push several talking points. Ironically, many are not discussing those talking points following the first stop, due to a hug between Erika and current Vice President JD Vance, who would join her on stage. Now, the hug alone has begun to dominate headlines into Friday, as many are calling it inappropriate, given that JD Vance is a married man and a father of 3 with wife Usha Vance. Several users online have now begun sharing their thoughts about it and how it was not the common church hug you would give someone if you're married or in a relationship. For those who don't know, the phrase church hug is used to describe a very non-intimate hug between 2, sometimes considered a side hug or where the 2 people's fronts don't touch.
Married men, to my married men out there, and taken men as well, all right? When you hug another woman that is not your partner, are you doing full body hug and the hand on the waist? Bruh, the hand on the waist, are you able to walk back to your partner, to your boo thing, without having your head completely removed from your body? Those photos and that moment was weird. And again, aren't you like hugging them like this? Butt out, like this. You're not doing the whole pelvis to pelvis, holding the waist, her hand in the back of your head. I'm telling you right now, you are not going to be alive the next morning.
Usha? That's your man? That's your man right there? You in danger, girl. Let me tell you something. My husband has a lot of female friends. I've met all of them. We're real cool, we're cordial. Don't none of them hug him like that, because it would be a conversation. It would be a snatch and grab, okay? What's that hand doing right there? What are you doing?
Erika Kirk would be the best first lady option for the next election. Now, am I insinuating anything? No. I'm just documenting my thoughts out loud. I don't understand this until I understood that JD Vance's wife is Hindu, not a Christian. She doesn't believe in Christianity. He does. They have an inter-religious marriage. But wouldn't it be the wet dream of sorts for the Christian nationalists and Make America Great Again Christians and regular Christians for Erika Kirk and JD Vance to be coupled up?
Oh yeah, Harris. You said all what you said, and then you said, but yesterday. You heard me? You said at the end of what you said, out of your 3 days back, something happened. And then at the end you said of this situation, but yesterday. That's what you said. You said, oh, but yesterday. Meaning that yesterday you came out of it. Meaning yesterday it happened. Yesterday was a better day. Yesterday it was a new day, a changed day. Am I right, Harris? I think that's what you're saying when you said, oh, but yesterday. You heard me? It was funny because when you was in here that one day, when we first met you, and you was hearing the situations of my fam and what they was going through, and at the end of their conversation, when the change or the turnaround happened that they didn't expect, they said, oh, but God. You hear me? You see the difference? They said, oh, but God. You said, oh, but yesterday. We gotta know. Silk in the building. We gotta know. We gotta know when you come out of something, who brought you out. You gotta know it. That's what you gotta know. See, it's situations where we don't even know. We know the homie right here just took care of us because of the situation. We about to get into it. We had to change up something. We see something and we say, hey, we know who did that. It's so funny when you go through something personal by yourself that only you know you can only go through it by yourself and come out of that thing by yourself. Only you and God. And see, when you know that, that's when you got to say, oh, but God. You hear me? You ain't got to say, oh, but yesterday I'm finally out. See, that sound good when you're sick for 4 or 5 days. You got a cold or something, you hear me? and you say, man, I was so sick. Man, I never thought I'd get better. But yesterday, woo, finally got rid of that headache. See, you say that when you're sick, like that, cold. You hear me? But what you just explained in here is something deep that you telling me somebody else couldn't even fathom to understand. But only you and who? Okay. You got to know. You got to acknowledge. And you got to move on. You understand? That's what come with the situation about stuff being on purpose, finding purpose. Because as you go through that and find that out, you understand me? We got to acknowledge when we know, oh, but God. That's all I'm saying. Acknowledge when you know. It's a difference when you know. Just like I said, you have a cold, you get a sneeze, it's finally over. And you say, oh, but yesterday I finally got over that hump. Yeah. When you're going through something, can't nobody understand or fathom, and it's your own personal situation, and you thought you was going to be down and out and never come out. You hear me? And there was nobody around you but just you. And then you wake up the next day and say, I'm free. I done got out that thing. Woo! God, thank you. That's when you get that energy. That's when you get that response. I don't care what all of us do in here. It's always that response like, oh, Lord, thank you, Lord. Woo, boy, because I'm telling you, I ain't know it's going to come out like that. I ain't even see it like that. But woo, Lord, but God, thank you. Am I lying? The toughest person in here right now. Whenever something be what in the end, when something really go happen and go through, you be like, oh, God, thank you, Lord. Oh, Jesus. I thought I was going to get locked up. Oh, God, I thought the bills was off. Oh, God, I got the money. Lord, thank you. Woo, I'm straight. Stop playing with me in here. It just be you in the car, you in the crib, you at the job, just you. And we don't even know what it was. Thought you was finna run out of gas and the police around the corner and your plates ain't right. What you talking about? And all of a sudden you finally get there and you thought, ooh, Lord, thank you. You ain't never saying, yes. You always saying, ooh, Lord, thank you. You ever trip out there? Ain't nobody saying like, woo, yes. For some reason, we always incorporate God, Lord, Jesus, something. So stop faking in here and act like I ain't tripping in here when I'm talking about. Harris said, yesterday I was in so much pain and I don't even have the willpower to get up. I lost it. But today, when I'm thinking about yesterday, I realized one thing. Everything happened for a reason. And shout out to you for understanding that. But I just want you to know and acknowledge who, what, situation, circumstance. Hit that like button, double tap that screen, understand what's going on. You with your boy Dilla T, and you in here with fam. Don't forget you in here with fam. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. You see the cash app. You see the super chat. You see the support. Don't get it twisted. It's all the way real. Never forget, the raffle is in the building. And never forget what's going on. Bam, with the 2 or the 5. You understand me? You see it, fam. It's going to be a winner. We're going to announce in November. Yeah. Last Friday in November, be ready. 1 female, 1 male. We got you signed up. We got you ready. Understand what's really real. The support is there. It's always a beautiful thing to just hit that like button and subscribe because it goes a long way, family. So somebody else can share this with the world. You understand? Hit that like button, subscribe, double tap that screen. Let's go.
The hug between Erika Kirk and JD Vance was absolutely inappropriate. If you're someone who's in a committed relationship, you do not caress anyone but your partner like that. So would you caress your brother, your dad, your uncle, your stepdad, any family? Would you caress them like that when you gave them a heartwarming hug? Most people would say no. I know there's people out there who would say yes, but there's always going to be freaks. That is a hug that you give someone that you lay in bed with, someone that you're close with.
Usha has a group text, and that group text is on fire. It's her aunties, it's her mom, it's her best friend from college. They knew him. They tried to warn her, roll the red flags. And I am not taking any responsibility away from her participation within this madness. Didn't I tell you this hillbilly was gonna end up being this way? Didn't I tell you he was suspicious? And for any of you who are receiving a group text based on your relationship and the red flags that your best friend saw and you are not acting upon it, this is time for you to pay attention to your gut. Because I guarantee what he says out loud, he has said in private, and she has felt always.
I have a few questions for the married folk. Which one of you in here are okay with the way this widow is hugging on Usha's husband, the Vice President JD Vance? Which one of you think that they are positioning them to run for President and Vice President of the United States? Which one of you think is something more sinister than that?
There is something. As a professional cheater catcher, there are some tells here. Okay, one, this hand here on the hip is too familiar. Okay, it's too low. That's a sex cut. Nobody does this.
The hand on the waist.
It's her hand here. No, I think that this is a little low for a married man with 2 children. Okay, and I think his arms.
That's like grab the back of the head on a hair thing. So.
Spread out hand here, the low here. I just think it's the full embrace.
I'm not one to gossip, but there are a lot of people out there saying secret lover.
Now, before the actual hug would take place, some would even take issue with how Kirk would introduce Vance on stage by comparing him to her late husband. Kirk would go on to say,
hold on, don't do that, don't do that.
Replace my husband.
Don't do that, because see, that's the problem right there. Lily, hit that like button, subscribe. Lily, become a member today, become fam today. Lily, it's all good to do it. It's all we do. We fam here. We stick together, we enlighten. We here to inform, understand, and be aware that if it walk like her, talk like her, we know what it is. You understand? Point I want to make real quick. You're right when you say she would not go that far if he didn't get that far. That's one angle. But there's also a scenario of her knowing her position in the position that she's in, knowing the world, all eyes is on her. So even if he did know and she made that move, she knew doing that gesture in that manner would still draw question, hypothesis, and basically no solution, no conclusion. This is left up to everybody's opinion now, because now you have to say, so you understand what they're doing. They are disrupting the public. Because today we living in a time where good is looked at as bad, bad is looked at as good. And because of that, you have people literally having to debate things like this that we know, you know, and I know is inappropriate for married people, period. We know that. But because so much is accepted, bad is looked at as good, good is looked at as bad. Now you look at it and say, okay, well, that was cool. They know each other. What's the problem with that? What's the problem with that gesture? And then when you look at other couples that don't see that as a problem because they're freelance or they don't look at that as a gesture to care enough, they don't understand the starting point of how their marriage breaks apart, or the starting point about how a relationship starts to deteriorate because people let stuff like that constantly happen, constantly happen, constantly happen. And now it creates confusion. And then that confusion creates chaos because people speak out consistently. And then when you have charisma involved, now people care about the stupidity. Once you throw confusion, care, and chaos in there, oh, it's going to be death. Confusion, chaos, and care in one. That's the situation. That's the recipe, Chris. You understand? And with that recipe becomes law and order. Because anytime chaos and confusion comes about, there's something that comes with that. And there's a situation that always comes out of it. And then all of a sudden, there's a law being passed. There's a law being created. There's authority being put into place. because of chaos, confusion, and someone caring about it. They know what they're doing. But we're here to bring light to that darkness so you can know what they're doing, so you cannot look like, oh my God, they just did that. Wow. No, we're not doing none of that. Because we're prepared, we're not scared. Again, because we're prepared, we're not scared. But it's very confusing, Chris, when you have to deal with this constantly because they continue to make up these fairy tale storylines like movie clips and put them in our face for us to talk about and say, did you see what just happened? Oh my God, the Vice President and Charlie Kirk wife hugging and kissing on stage, allegedly. That's what that is. When these folk already know what they're doing, when these people already know how they come, but they know what it's doing to the public. They think that it's like, okay, well, something happens. It's creating confusion for us to care to cause chaos. That's it. It's creating confusion for us to care to cause chaos. Write that down for your family. This is creating confusion for you to care for this to cause chaos. And at some point, law and order will be in place. That is the only ruling situation of all, is that law be changed, ruling is in place, and discipline is gone about. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. I'm only saying this because ain't nothing new under the sun, and everything they doing it for a reason. You understand what I'm saying? Harris in the building. Harris, you still there? Let me know you still there, Harris.
But I do see some similarities of my husband and Vice President JD Vance. And she would later add that Vance was an amazing man, followed by greeting him to the stage along with the hug everyone is now talking about. When it came to his time on stage, Vance would add to the conversation by commenting about the religious divide in his home.
And I want you to understand that, Lily. I put that out there because I wanted you to just get an enlightenment understanding both parties, because a lot of women naturally would say, well, he definitely had to do something for her to feel comfortable with grabbing his head and running her fingers through his head, knowingly he has a wife and kids at home watching. But you have to also understand her position and his. He's already established. He's already in ruling. She's fighting for a position, and she's only been acknowledged because who Charlie Kirk was. But what I also do understand is that JD Vance's name has been involved with this ever since Charlie Kirk has passed away. He's been the only one a part of this like that. All Trump did was a speech, and a speech in front of a big stadium. Everything else has been JD Vance led, JD Vance plane, JD Vance now, he's the spokesperson. See, that's how I know they already planned this. You understand me? They had to incorporate JD Vance in the whole entire situation. So when they orchestrate and bring JD Vance in as the new spokesman for their movement, it won't be a coincidence. It won't be new to you. You will be like, oh, yeah, okay. Who better then? He's been around. He has supported. He's been day one. He's been by her side. You better follow me in here. T-shirt champ in the building, tone what it is. You understand? That's the situation, Theo. That's the situation. They already put them in position, but they say, how are we going to present this to the people? So you got to understand, everything they do is a decision is already made. They just have to orchestrate on how they present it to us. And because of that, that's where the theatrics come in. That's where the movies, the actors, the script for us to dissect comes into play, which becomes great for us. Shout out to Tone with a $5 donation and super chat. It's love, family. That's a real thing. Because at the end of the day, the fact that we can identify this and see, okay, he is the spokesperson now. Everybody has seen it. And that's why he's been down day one. So that further lets me know they have been working overtime together. See, they just told on themselves. They've been working overtime together because of this move that's about to be made. And to be honest, JD Vance's wife, so you got to understand, in politics and in government, people, wives, husbands, say nothing. Why? Because these people want to stay in the White House. They want to stay in power. They want to stay in position. So even if they find out that their husband is doing something or that their wife is doing something, oh no, nobody will know. Because they still want to keep that office for another 3 years, 2 years, 4 years, whatever, that budget, that bank account, them wife, all of that. So they willing to shut up for that. Because a lot of them believe they will be the first lady one day and president one day. A lot of all of them governors and all of them believe that. So you got to understand, in government, the first time they say something about somebody and they discredit you in government, you're done. That's how it works in government. Once you get discredited, you're done. The point I'm making right now is, this is a full orchestration in front of our face. Like a whole orchestra. This is a full orchestration going on in our face that's already been determined, decided, and concluded. And this is just playing out in our face right now. And what kills me about Candace Owens, and I have to bring up Candace Owens right now, seriously, because what Candace Owens is doing is really, really making herself look bad in so many ways, because she chooses when to speak about people, and she hasn't said anything about Erika Kirk, period.
Reporting live from Mike's Club in Atlanta.
And I'm talking about, period. She hasn't said anything about this, man. Anything about anything. But she's called out every other body but that man body. And because of that, Candace Owens definitely do not deserve to have another thing to say about Charlie Kirk at all. Because she's playing a side that she wants to play. And she's not being who she making people think she is.
First clip that we're going to react to, before we get into the whole Erika Kirk thingamajig. Hit the like button on your way in, everybody.
And let me get back to fan, because I definitely want to touch base on what you were saying. Thunder in the building, you already know what it is. Harris asking about how can we live in present without thinking about past or future. That doesn't exist. Let's be clear. That doesn't exist. Living in present is never a way where you don't think about the past and the future. One, let me tell you about the past. Your past, you will never forget. People you may forgive, things that you've done, you may not forgive yourself yet. You know how they be like, oh, we won't forgive, we won't forget. But I won't forget. But I forgive, but I won't forget. And then there's things in the past that was great that made us who we are today. When I talk about going through something to get somewhere, we look back at our past and say how I've been through that. I went through that, about where I'm at today. The reason why we think about the past. We think about our past relationships with people that we had to let go. See, there's so much in the past that you will think about. There's growth. It's not good, bad, ugly. It all goes together in who you are today. So we'll never not think about past as the present is here. Our fallen soldiers, our fallen family members. You understand? Everything. It is so much. So it'll never be a situation where past will never be thought of or never be presented. And now when we speak about future, there is no way that you cannot incorporate your thought in your mind that your future will be on your mind or will not be. There is no way in your right mind that you cannot ever not think about your future and where you're going in life. As a child, as a youngin', as an adult, as an elder. Because there becomes an age where you don't even think about the future no more and you are in the present. And that's when you get elderly. I pray my brothers and sisters, when we reach that age of elder, we will still continue to think about our futures and what God has in store for us tomorrow, because there's an age. You better hear me right now, Harris. There is an age where you won't think about your future because you're going to be so busy fighting for your present. Ooh, you better hear me today. There will become a time and an age where you will not think about your future because you're fighting for your present. And I pray that my brothers and sisters, that will not be neither one of us. Yet, we will never be able to fight time. Because time is the only battle that we will not win. But yet we are able to sit here and think about our time together on this earth and our time in the future. So when you ask me about will there ever be a time where the present where we will not think about the past and the future, let me tell you something, my brother. I pray that that day don't fall upon you no time soon where you don't think about your future no more because you're too busy fighting the present situation you are in. You are not that today. Let me tell you again, Harris, you are not in that situation today. You are not that age today. So I encourage you, my brother, my sister, to continue to think about your future. Continue to grow about becoming better tomorrow. Continue to go through, Lord, so we become more than what we are today. Because the day you stop thinking about your future, I pray that God is with you fighting that battle in your present. That it still be seen as a gift. You better hit that like button and subscribe right now. This is real. We cooking.
Okay, so I want to address this. So many people have been writing into us, sending us emails, people that are paying in super chats, asking me to address Erika Kirk. And I guess my question back would be, what is there for me to address? She hasn't sat down for a long interview. All we have seen from Erika has been the speech at the memorial event for Charlie Kirk. I see the innuendo that is online. I am interested in investigating who killed Charlie Kirk. And the people that I have been reserving my ire for, my smoke for, my investigation for, are the people that are blatantly lying.
Candace Owens just told multiple lies right there. And I'm so disappointed. Some of you all are expecting this from Candace because you either don't like her or you have these opinions about her. You think that she's controlled. I get it. Candace Owens just lied. Let me run this back. And I'm going to break down every single lie that she just told. Candace Owens knows dang well what we're wanting her to talk about when it comes to Erika Kirk. Now she's pretending she has no clue. And I'm going to prove that Candace Owens is lying. Watch this. Let's start this over.
Okay, so I want to address this. So many people have been writing into us, sending us emails, people that are paying in super chats, asking me to address Erika Kirk. And I guess my question back would be, what is there for me to address?
Let me answer that question for you first. Candace Owens already knows the answer to that question. How do I know that Candace Owens knows that? Because Candace Owens, there's 3 people on her channel that Candace Owens has called out a lot. Has gave shout outs to Ian Carroll, a guy by the name of Sam Parker, and James Lee. James Lee has, and this is all arrogance to the side, this is not meant to sound conceited. On YouTube, if there's a video that I haven't seen, forgive me. Hop in the comment section and let me know what I'm missing. But as far as what I've seen, the 2 biggest videos on YouTube about Erika Kirk and the red flags about Erika Kirk are my video and James Lee's video. Candace Owens has gave James Lee a shout out multiple times. My video has well over 300,000 views. James Lee video came like 2 weeks later. It has 500,000 views. Candace, you've either seen these videos, and if you haven't seen mine, you've definitely seen James Lee's. Because you know who he is, you watch his content. So that alone proves that you're lying, because you know James Lee talked about all the things I talked about in my video, all the red flags about her. The music video, all the similarities, her background, her family's background, and her odd behavior. The casket video. It's odd, Candace. And I haven't even talked about the things we're about to cover later in this video. You know exactly what we want you to cover.
She hasn't sat down for a long interview. All we have seen from Erika has been the speech at the memorial event for Charlie Kirk.
That is not all we've seen, Candace Owens. What are you doing? She gave a speech in Charlie Kirk's office. She gave a speech at the freaking memorial that was put together in 11 days. What am I missing, chat? What are you talking about, Candace?
So this is the lack of that we're talking about when it comes to people choosing what to say and what not to say in the way they should see it said. No.
You ever see one of those moments online that's so quick, so tiny, but somehow it blows up like it's world-changing? Well, that's exactly what's happening right now. The clip we're about to talk about is 6 seconds long. A hug between Erika Kirk and Vice President JD Vance. And it's managed to divide the internet like nothing else this week. People are calling it inappropriate. Others say it's just a warm Christian hug. And now Joe Rogan stepped in with his take. And you already know what happens when Rogan gives an opinion. The conversation shifts completely. So let's break down what actually happened, why the internet lost its mind, and how Joe Rogan just became the voice of reason in one of the weirdest political viral moments of 2025. It all went down at a Turning Point USA event in late October. Erika Kirk, who's been carrying on her late husband Charlie Kirk's legacy, walked out under the bright lights of a packed arena to introduce Vice President JD Vance. The room was buzzing. It was one of those patriotic, high-energy crowds that Turning Point events always draw. Erika took the mic and said something that instantly caught attention. "No one will ever replace my husband, but I do see some similarities between my husband and JD Vance."
No one will ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD.
It was emotion.
Hold up, Eugene. Eugene talking a lot. Eugene talking about, where is your future? Where is your future? Where is your future? Where your future at, Eugene? Let me know where your future at.
It was raw. She was talking about faith, leadership, and purpose. But to the cameras and the audience at home, it came across complicated. Then JD Vance walks on stage. He gives her that polite, warm smile politicians have perfected, steps in for what looks like a respectful embrace, and boom, that's the moment. Her hand slides up behind his neck, fingers brushing his hair. A quick pat. It lasts barely 2 seconds, but when you watch it slowed down on Twitter, it suddenly feels like 10. Someone freezes the frame. Another person zooms in. Within an hour, screenshots are everywhere. One still image looks affectionate. Another looks totally innocent. But context doesn't matter. The image is what travels. By the next morning, Erika Kirk and JD Vance hug are trending worldwide. You could almost set your watch by how predictable the internet reaction was. Meme accounts start posting captions like 2028 power couple loading. And that wasn't a hug, that was a moment. Political TikTokers begin breaking down the hug like it's a UFC replay. Hand placement, posture, facial expressions, while body language experts pop up with side-by-side comparisons of romantic versus platonic hugs. Meanwhile, conservative and liberal Twitter are both losing it, but for totally different reasons. The left mocks the family values crowd for freaking out. The right argues it looked too intimate and undermined JD Vance's clean-cut image. And while all this is happening, mainstream outlets like People, India Today, and Times of India start publishing clarifications. They note there's zero evidence of anything romantic. It was a public event, a quick embrace, full stop. But by that point, it's already too late. The screenshots outnumber the facts. And this is exactly the kind of moment you just know Joe Rogan would have something to say about. He hasn't seemed to have addressed it on the podcast yet, but if he did, you can already picture it. The studio's dim. cigars on the table, Jamie queuing up the clip, and one of his guests cracks a joke about the hug. Rogan would probably laugh that classic Rogan laugh and shake his head like, man, you give the internet 6 seconds of human contact and they'll build a whole Netflix series out of it. He'd joke for a second, but then he'd shift into that thoughtful tone he's famous for. The one where he starts connecting the dots. Look, he'd probably say, this woman lost her husband. She's trying to keep his message alive. She's leading an organization. She's under a microscope. And people are out here dissecting a hug? Come on. It's not hard to imagine him using this as a to that philosophy, that politics has turned into entertainment. In his words, it's not about policy anymore. It's about optics, thumbnails, and who hugged who. And if there's one thing Rogan always reminds people of, it's that fame turns authenticity into performance. He'd probably sum it up with something like, if you're famous, everything you do is content. You can't just be genuine. Every facial twitch becomes a statement. And honestly, that's the kind of clip that would go viral instantly. Because even if it's hypothetical, he's right. Now here's where things get deep, because beyond the memes and overanalyzing, what this really highlights is how much pressure Erika Kirk's under right now. Think about it. She's not just Charlie's widow. She's now the face of Turning Point USA, an organization that's been synonymous with his name for years. Charlie built that brand from the ground up. He was Turning Point. When he tragically passed, Erika didn't just lose her husband. She inherited a legacy. The responsibility, the scrutiny, the spotlight, all of it fell on her. And to make things even heavier, she's stepping into that role in an era where everything you do is instantly turned into content. That's why this hug hit people so weirdly, because to Charlie's fans, Erika wasn't just a public figure, she was his. She was part of a power couple that represented family values, faith, and purpose. So seeing her hug another man, especially one as politically powerful as JD Vance, hits emotionally for people who still associate her with Charlie's memory. You can see how the internet twisted that one moment into Erika's moved on, when really, it's probably just her being supportive in a political setting. But to the audience, optics matter more than context. And that's the weird reality she's living in, where every smile, every touch, every word is analyzed through the lens of grief and legacy. Then you've got JD Vance in the mix. The man who, let's be real, is quietly setting himself up for a future presidential run. The guy's strategic, articulate, and appealing to the new conservative wave, but his image is built on being the wholesome family man, devout Christian, loyal husband, traditional values. So when that viral clip dropped, a 2-second hug that looked to some a little too close, it didn't just affect Erika's reputation. It became an optics problem for JD too. You've got to remember, JD's already been under the microscope for comments about his wife's religion. A week before this event, he publicly said he hopes his Hindu wife might one day convert to Christianity. That blew up online, with people accusing him of being tone deaf. So combine that controversy with a viral hug from a grieving widow, and yeah, it's a PR nightmare waiting to happen. But here's the catch. JD didn't pull away awkwardly or panic on stage. He handled it with calm professionalism. You can actually see it in the footage. She goes in for the hug, he gives a polite squeeze, steps back, adjusts his jacket, and goes right into his speech. No tension, no energy that says something's going on. That tells you a lot. JD's a calculated politician, and this moment, intentional or not, is just another example of how fragile public perception can be in the internet age. To really understand why this moment blew up, you've got to look at the narrative both Erika and JD represent, faith and family. Charlie Kirk was known for pushing strong Christian values in his speeches. Traditional marriage, moral revival, faith in the public square. Erika's speeches since his passing have echoed those same themes. So when she says JD reminds her of Charlie, it hits a specific emotional chord with her audience. She wasn't saying it romantically. She was probably talking about values, strength, or leadership. But because people are so used to scandals, they project what they want to see. That's what makes this whole situation symbolic. It's not about the hug. It's about how people interpret modern Christian conservatism. You've got a widow showing strength, a vice president seen as the heir to the movement, and an audience ready to turn it all into a soap opera. It says more about the times we're in than it does about Erika herself. Now, let's zoom out and look at Turning Point USA. Charlie Kirk wasn't just the founder. He was the movement, the charisma, the controversy, the online energy. That was all him. When Erika stepped up to carry that torch, a lot of people underestimated her. But if you've watched her over the past few months, you can tell she's grown into the role. Her speeches are confident, emotional, even fiery at times. She's been hosting events, meeting political leaders, and essentially becoming the face of the next phase of Turning Point. That's why the hug went viral, not just because of optics, but because it symbolized something bigger, the blending of eras. Charlie's legacy meeting JD's political future. Two powerful figures connected by one organization and one ideology. But as inspiring as that sounds, it also creates tension because every move she makes from here on out, every collaboration, every appearance is going to be compared to Charlie's way of doing things. People will keep asking, is she honoring his legacy or rewriting it? That's the impossible balance she's walking. Let's talk about something real. Grief in the public eye. When you lose someone close, there's no right way to handle it. Some people isolate, others pour themselves into work. Erika chose the latter. She's been on stages, giving speeches, smiling, hugging people, all while dealing with a loss most of us can't imagine. But the internet doesn't give grace. It doesn't see pain. It sees performance. That's what makes this so tough. She probably thought she was being warm and supportive introducing JD Vance. But to the online crowd, it was too much. It's wild how empathy gets turned into speculation. And honestly, that's the downside of fame in the political world. You're not allowed to be human. You're not allowed to have a moment that looks even slightly imperfect because the audience has already written your story. So where does this all lead? If anything, it shows that Turning Point, and by extension, the broader conservative youth movement, is entering a transition phase. Erika represents continuity, keeping Charlie's vision alive. JD Vance represents ambition, the next generation of conservative leadership. Whether or not the hug means anything deeper, and all evidence says it doesn't, it symbolizes that shift. The emotional legacy of Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA, blending with the political machine of JD Vance's America First conservatism. It's not romance, it's alignment, a merging of faith, power, and message. That's why the internet couldn't look away. By now, you know how this goes. The outrage explodes, the memes fly, everyone overanalyzes, and then the truth slowly seeps back in. After a few days, people start realizing the footage looks completely different when seen in full. The tone, the timing, the crowd, it all makes the moment way more normal than the headlines made it seem. The outrage dies down. Erika posts about faith. JD returns to politics. And yet, that 6-second clip will stay online forever. Because that's how the internet works. It never forgets, even when it's wrong. At the end of the day, this story isn't really about a hug. It's about perception, grief, politics, and the impossible standards we hold public figures to. Joe Rogan was right. If he had said those things, he'd be spot on. The internet's starving for drama. It's not enough to see people doing their jobs. We need scandal. We need emotion. We need something to argue about. But sometimes a hug is just a hug. Sometimes two people can share a human moment in a political world that's forgotten what humanity looks like. And for Erika Kirk, who's navigating grief, legacy, and leadership all at once, that might be the hardest thing of all. So what do you think? Was it overblown? Was the internet just projecting? Or was the moment really as strange as it looked in still frames? Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.
Reporting live from Micro's Club in Atlanta, Prime Plus News, I'm Janelle. What is
Fam says something ain't right. Very strange, something is not right. Yeah, that's the whole point. I'm trying to bring you up to par to understand what ain't right. Or the type of stuff that ain't right is the stuff that ain't really adding up on the way they putting it together. You get what I'm saying?
When Erika Kirk came...
Proverbs says the lizard you can...
Bro, what? I did not know that this conversation was going to be going here, bro. Apparently, Erika Kirk is a shapeshifter. Now, I'm not going to lie, y'all. I have a lot of mixed emotions or mixed beliefs when it comes to shapeshifting, bro. I'm not the type of person to say it doesn't exist, but I also haven't seen too much evidence saying that it does, right? Do I believe in aliens? Hell yeah. We're not going to even go down that route. You got what I'm saying? But at the same time, when it comes to shapeshifters, or what is it called, skin dwellers, or skin something, I forgot what it's called. I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna need you guys to link me some videos down below so I can start looking into it deeper, because I honestly don't know too much about that. Like, I know a little bit about it. I had a friend who used to speak about this all the time, but I really don't know. I know reptilians, I know adrenochrome, I know all that fun stuff, right? But at the same time, I haven't seen too much evidence pointing me in that direction, right? But let's get into this video right here. Whistleblower exposes Erika.
When Erika Kirk came in as leader, I don't even know how to explain it. The vibe just shifted, like, instantly. And then she starts bringing in all these new people, total unknowns. No social media, no LinkedIn, no nothing. It's like they just appeared. Everyone in the office is joking, well, half joking, that they're all spooks. And honestly, it fits. So people start digging around just to see who we're really working with. And it gets creepy fast. Her mom works for some Israeli defense firm, something to do with missile systems, like the Iron Dome level stuff. Her dad literally wrote the book about how to integrate private companies into the intelligence community. And Erika, she loves to brag about her connections. She'll say stuff in meetings like, if I want to know something about someone, I can have it by morning. Mossad doesn't sleep. Then she'll flash that megawatt smile like she's joking, but she's not. Everyone knows she's not. Does she actually work for them? I mean, yeah, everyone thinks so. She's hinted at it herself. And now, the whole office feels wired. Slack channels are dead. People don't say what they're thinking anymore. Everyone's paranoid, like the walls are listening. Maybe they are.
They literally are, bro. They literally are, bro. Like, Erika, one thing that I noticed from the past couple of videos that we watched about Erika Kirk is that it's more clear, more evident now more than ever, right? That she was literally a pawn. Charlie Kirk was a pawn. Erika Kirk was a pawn. Charlie Kirk was a sacrifice, right? I mean, so many videos, so many pieces of evidence that stack up in that direction. It's actually crazy, bro. Like, it's actually kind of crazy how much you can find on the internet about Erika Kirk, Charlie Kirk, her association with hella different political leaders and people of power. It's like, whoa, this is going deep. I get it now. It's always a connection, yeah. Literally always a connection. I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below. Like, send me over some links about videos on reptilians, bro. Like, I'm really interested about diving into that. I'm not the type of person, if you guys have watched my channel, then you know, I'm not the type of person to sit here and believe in conspiracy theories. That's not what this is. I'm interested in exposing the truth. And the way that we expose the truth is by having evidence. Right? We can't just sit here and be like, oh, this is what happened without any evidence. We need to have evidence before we start making any claims. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a truth teller. It's two different things. People who are conspiracy theories, I don't know. They make stuff up. We're truth seekers. We're truth tellers. So let me know in the comments down below any videos I should tap into, number one. And number two, if you guys are interested in having that 2-day webinar, where I show you guys all the trade secrets on how to make money online, then leave a like down below, comment down below, and we'll make that happen. But I'm gonna catch y'all next one, man. Peace.
It's like your wife is not your this, and your wife is not your slave, and your wife is not your employee. That is your partner, and yada, yada, yada. And now she's going on her strong woman world tour in her leather pants, walking out to the crowd like John Cena. And just
he said John Cena.
Playing it up, man. Like, if anybody, and Candace addressed this in her statement, I'm about to play it for you guys. Yes, man. Look at this. So not only is that going on, you know, we see the weird interactions that she's having with Vice President JD Vance. Look at the hug. It's all strange. The hug with the hand in the hair. Let me rewind it a little bit. Yeah. You see that? Then she says this.
I will ever replace my husband.
No. But I do see some similarities of my husband and JD. Helping me welcome to the stage Vice President JD Vance.
Let's no one will ever replace my husband. But I do see similarity in my husband and Vice President JD.
I wish I was Kirk. Just sitting in there, just sleep. Yeah, waiting on God to come. I'm just in there sleep, and then nobody will replace my husband. But I do see similarities of my husband and JD Vance. I would have rose up like, what? Open up this coffin. Let me come out this dirt, fam. Let me just dig out the dirt, fam. And now I'm coming for you, Walking Dead. I'm coming, Walking Dead. Episode season 10, episode now. I'm coming. Cause who you talking to? And who you talking about? And we still married. Yeah, what? One more time. I'm asleep. And I do see similarities of my husband and Vice President Vance. Coming out of the dirt. I'm gonna get to land. Get on land, wake up, look around. Like which way I go, I feel somebody talking about me. Erika, this was to death do us part. I'm dead, you still living. Come here, I'm coming for you. Cause who you talking about? Similarities like me. You better shut your mouth. I better smack skin, face, and eyes off you. Body language, the eyebrows off of you. What? Remind you of somebody like me. You better go shut up and go make something to eat and get dinner ready. I'm back from the dead. I'm about to tear everything up in here. What? Similarities like my hood. Boy. People don't be knowing when they disrespectful. Just be talking, saying everything. Saying whatever, and some more. You hear me? Saying whatever. Just disrespectful. You hear me? No, I ain't seen it, darling's crazy life. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Become a subscriber, family. I ain't lying. Don't be talking about me while I'm dead. While I'm ain't here unalive. Talking about I'm similar to somebody you know alike. And then you over here hugging him with your hands in his hair. Trying to feel like what conditioner shampoo he used this morning. I'm about to come from the dead. Gotta cover the dead. Come out the ground, dig through the dirt. Cause I'm about to go find this mother. And I'm about to go change their life. Talking to me crazy in here talking about, what? Well, the biggest deal right now, fam, is that we understand that right now this is scripted. This is the biggest play. And I'm saying it ain't even done with the parts. This play is still playing on. This show is still rolling on. This movie is still got several series. This series got more episodes and seasons to it. You understand? So as we unlock and engage and understand, fam, we here to enlighten, to bring light to darkness. We here to inform, understand, and be aware that if it walk like a, talk like a, we know what it is, fam. Never forget this movie ain't ending. We got more seasons of this theatrics, of this sitcom, of this cartoon. Yeah, and it's sad because this is your president, your vice president. And they just making a mockery out of whatever was, whatever we thought. was in order is not. And this will further let you know how much trouble that we in moving forward as we unlock what's really going on in the world in the USA today. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, all we got is each other to figure it out. Something could be happening on your side of the town that ain't happening on my side of the town, and you know it's coming for us. So you got to let us know how it's coming so we can be prepared and not scared. Because at the end of the day, we know what's going on. Just open your eyes, put on your ears, put your head on, put your thinking cap on. Stop being blind. Stop needing 1,000 people to tell you what it is. I said if it walk like her, if it quack like her, if it talk like her, then it's a, that's it. And from there, you're going to be able to make a sound decision on the difference between a duck and a goose. As always, fam, you know what the level is in here. Don't get it twisted. Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. It's your boy Dilla T up in here with my family here at No Filters. Truly appreciate each and every one of y'all making sure you're stopping by. We got to make sure that the headline is not what we need, and we're reading between the lines so we can figure out what's really going on. Because I'm telling you something right now. The energy, the levels, the stories, the everyday gossip, the everyday stories is never nothing not to talk about. It's always something new, always going on. Ain't new no under the sun though. But it's the fact that there's always something new going on in the world every day. And trust me, as it unfolds, you're going to be right here with your boy Dilla T and my fam here at No Filters, ready to enlighten you about the darkness. You hear me? As always, fam, making sure you and your family straight for the evening, locking doors, keeping everything together, keeping that hammer with you, making sure that God got you, and making sure that you're safe, family. As always, I truly appreciate each and every one of y'all. Always stop by. It's never too late or never too early each and every day that you see the Cash App, you see the No Filters, you see the Super Chat, your love, your support each and every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. with your boy Dilla T. Here with my fam, and this is No Filters. Have a good night, family. You all be safe. It's love.